We had urban operations in Ramadi, and we're starting urban operations in Fallujah. It's a great concern to us, but we make every effort. Now, if you allow me, I'll give you an example. We recently were engaging with some of the bulk cash storage facilities in order to go after the counter finance. And we saw in this particular facility, which also had a finance emir in the southern section of Mosul. He was the major distributor of funds to Daesh fighters. We watched him come and go from his house. We watched his supplies. We watched the security that was involved in it. We also watched occasionally a female and her children in and out of the quarters. We actually saturated that with intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance assets, RPAs, to get a pattern of life study. And then we formulated a plan to ensure that that particular women and children and the non-combatants were clear of that objective. We went as far as actually to put a hellfire on top of the building and airburst it so it wouldn't destroy the building, simply knock on the roof to ensure that she and the children were out of the building. And then we proceeded with our operation. That's an example of exactly how we do this. But we have to understand that Daesh is into the fabric of the people. They are using the civilian force as human shields, and we will fight and do everything possible we can to keep those civilian casualties to an absolute minimum.
Follow up on 2 points very quickly. When you described this airburst over the building, did you see then the women and children with her? Did you observe them run out of the building? This is a technique I think that the Israelis have used in the past.
That's very good, Barbara. That's exactly where we took the technique and procedure from. It is called a knock operation. It is a valid operation, and we absolutely did see the woman and child leave. And interestingly enough, the men that were in that building, multiple men, literally trampled over her to get out of that building. We watched her and observed her leaving the building. And she cleared the building, and we began to process the strike. It's a difficult situation, I would tell you, in this particular event, because it ultimately ended up in a civilian casualty. So as much as we tried to do exactly what we wanted to do and minimize civilian casualties, post-weapons release, she actually ran back into the building. We watched. It's very difficult for us to watch. And it was within the final seconds of the actual impact. The good news, I guess, of all of that was that we actually brought forth the CivCAS event for review. We reviewed it with a very thorough process. We looked at everything we could do to have mitigated that fact, and it was an unfortunality. But this is a very congested environment we fight in, and we do everything we possibly can.